Hello, welcome back to KIN 562 Exercise and Fitness Education. My name is Jessica Ramirez Magana, and today I will be presenting my final cap. We are going to move into the table of contents. In this presentation, we will be addressing the following 4 points, which is health and movement assessments that we used on our client, periodization, which is the exercise program that our clients are going to follow for the next 8 weeks, as well as some exercise techniques that my client lacked in and showed deficits in that I was able to help improve in order to prevent injury. And the last thing that we are going to go into is application and faith integration. So we are going to go into the health assessment that we used on our client. For my client, we used a PAR-Q and U assessment in which he was able to fill out this form and let me know a little bit about his history in order to adjust workouts accordingly. He showed that there was no health issues other than obesity. So that means that there wouldn't be anything that prevented him from completing the exercises in both mesocycles of the periodization. But what we will be doing is adjusting all the exercises according to his capabilities. So that means if we have to start with less weight, then we'll start with less weight and increase throughout the weeks. If we have to backtrack because he doesn't feel comfortable with the weight, then we'll take it slow in order to show him the correct way of doing things and to see improvement long term. My client is Miguel Chavez. He's a 38-year-old male. What he does for a living is truck driving, and truck driving consists of a lot of fast food, a lot of on the road, so they're always on the road, which means it's a sedentary lifestyle. The only movement that they get is when they get off at a truck stop to go eat or to take a shower, or when they're loading and unloading at a company, making sure that all the documentation is ready, but majority of the time they're just sitting. So we move on. For the movement assessment, we did use the functional movement screen, which is FMS for short. It is a tool that uses 7 movement patterns in order to see how the individual is moving in their everyday life and to see if there are any deficits that we can work on. From what my client shows in the hurdle step, he showed instability, which we can target through our workouts. He also showed lack of flexibility and range of motion on his shoulder and trunk. So that is very common in truck drivers only because they're always sitting, so they're not getting that movement in their spine or shoulders because they're not moving things around. So now we are going to move on to the next thing. Now in the periodization portion, my client's goals were flexibility, body fat loss, and muscle gain. For the first mesocycle, we focused on flexibility and body fat loss in order to gain some stability when it came to weightlifting to prevent potential injury, because a lot of the exercises that we were going to do kind of worked out the spinal cord a lot, so we want to focus on first gaining that flexibility on the spinal cord. So what we did for the first mesocycle, we did some plyometric training, which is great for body fat loss, but we also did flexibility and mobility stretches in order to get that stretch on the shoulders and in the spine. We did increase sets and reps as well as time throughout the 4 weeks of the first mesocycle. What we don't do in this period, in the first 4 weeks, we didn't do a lot of weight, only because he is brand new to the workout world, and also because as being a truck driver, he is not able to stop quite often and go to a gym. So these exercises that I provided for him are very good so that he can do them while he's waiting for a load outside in the parking lot on a little piece of grass. That way he can get his muscles moving and grooving. For the second mesocycle, we focused on body fat loss, but also implementing some lean muscle gain exercises. So I combined aerobic training and resistance training in order to help with the gain of the muscle gain and the body fat. Some research shows that if we perform aerobic training after resistance training, then there's a higher possibility for the individual to not only lose weight faster or body fat faster, but also to gain that muscle that they desire. So that's why I put, if you look at the exercises, I put aerobic training after the resistance training. And in this mesocycle, we also increase the sets and the reps, as well as the intensity of their workout. As the weeks went by, we obviously started off body weight because our individual is not used to doing these movements, and we increased weight as the weeks went by, and as long as the patient felt comfortable. Now we're going to move on to the exercise technique for the upper body extremity, which is the lat pull down. This exercise is beneficial for strengthening the muscles as well as gaining muscle, focusing on that spinal stability and good posture. This exercise targets the latissimus dorsi, the biceps, the rear deltoids, rhomboids, trapezius. Things to look at is that making sure that our client has that wide grip on the bar, as well as when they're pulling down on the bar, that it stops at their chin and doesn't go to their chest in order to avoid injury of the lower back and to prevent that spinal extension. We also want to concentrate on the eccentric movement, making sure that the client doesn't just let the weight go and snap back. The reason why I chose this technique in order to help my client improve in it is because he did show a lot of cervical extension and lumbar extension when he would pull down, as well as when he was performing the technique, he showed tension throughout his whole body, which means that he is susceptible to injury, but also muscle spasms, which are really painful. So that's one thing that we looked at. Now moving on to the exercise technique for the low body extremity, the one exercise that my patient showed deficits in were the barbell squats. He showed his knees were caving in, and as well as his toes were passing his knees. He was showing a lot of cervical flexion. So the way that I was able to help him out was with cues. You don't want to move the patient's knees out for them while they're doing these. You got to remind them with cues such as knees out if their knees are caving in, or hips back if their knees are passing their toes. For knees that are caving in, we could also use a TheraBand above the knee in order to prevent them from caving in and see that resistance. This exercise is beneficial because it strengthens the core and knee joints, it increases muscle mass, burns fat, and it also improves flexibility. The lower extremity technique targets quadriceps, calves, hamstrings. What we do want to look at is making sure that his posture is correct, making sure that his chest is out, so that way when he's moving up, he's pushing off of his legs and not his back. If he pushes off with his back, that will cause spinal injury, and it could be detrimental to the patient. I want to talk about application and faith integration, such as Matthew 5:16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven, as well as Hebrews 13:16. And don't forget to do good and to share with those in need. These are sacrifices that please God. The last one was the Philippians 2:4. Not looking at your own interests, but each of you to other interest of others. Simply, we are here to serve the people around us by providing our knowledge and our service in order to help humanity become healthier and gain knowledge in how to become healthy and live a longer life. And obviously, with prosperity, things that I will take from this course is patience in teaching others. Not everyone learns as quickly, so we have to alter that in order to be successful as humans. We also need to be very encouraging of others and push everyone forward when they're feeling down, so that they know that they're not alone. And lastly, I want to be able to help others with my knowledge that I have gained through my undergrad and my graduate school. I will be applying these things in my life as a professor and an occupational therapist by giving back to my community and those communities that are in need, such as the low-income communities, so that they can also succeed in life and become a better version of themselves. I come from a low-income community, and just for others to see how far I have gotten, I'm pretty sure that it will push them to keep pushing and breaking barriers and moving forward to succeed in life. So lastly, it's going to be the references, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time.